Well, did anybody see my audience with Matilda last week? Because that's exactly what we're going to continue with this week. And so I do recommend you listen to the first few minutes of last week's if you're wondering who on earth Matilda is and how all this works. It's all in last week's video. Okay, so we're going to get straight to it. So Hannah S has asked us a question, which is about work life and where to live. Now, generally, on the general side, it was answered last week with Matilda talking about going into your heart and the process of answering that question. So if you've adopted that from last week, then that will have shifted some things within you, Hannah. If you haven't done that, please listen to last week's because it'll have some answers there for you. Do the process that she advised us to do, and then see what else that reveals. But she's butting in straight away for me now, and she's saying, the world is your oyster, and sometimes so shells, beings, everything comes in sort of different shapes and sizes, and not all the ones that are very shiny are the most brilliant. She says, you've got some more to learn where you are at the moment. You can actually learn a lot more where you are with a change of attitude, actually, with a change of by being more brave, having more courage, asking more for what you want, stating what you're comfortable with and what you'd like to be an expert in your field where you are. So she wants you to identify the expertise area. She says you feel fantastic about yourself when you're really kind of low key about how much you know, and so you haven't been with this formula, she's saying this formula long enough to be able to feel that. And she thinks it'd be a shame to chuck that away just at the moment, and that, actually it'd be really good for you to grow in that way of asking for what you want as far as support or training or whatever it is. I mean, Hannah, I don't know, but you'll know. With regard to becoming an expert in a particular field. So she wants you to focus on an expertise within the job that you've got now. Once you've done that, you've done with the area, you're done with the places, you're done. And you're going to be really, it feels like a real heart search into leafier territory. So she's saying I feel like you've moved into the woods almost. It's more like it just feels like you spend more time. So I don't know if this is a working from home thing. It could be, but you certainly change your environment and your day into being. It's definitely, you've got access to more woodland. It's woods and nature and the canopy of trees above you that surround you, that makes it feel like a cabin in the woods. But I really feel I can't feel any structure like a cabin. I can feel the trees as the cabin, if that makes sense. So but it becomes clear it's not there at the moment. She says it's not there for you at the moment. The time will come though, once you've got the expertise in your current role, it'll be like, all right, that's done, job ticked almost. And it's like, right, what's my next adventure in life? And the expression and the qualities in your heart will have changed by then to such an extent that we can't name it now other than what I've just said about the trees, because the frequency will have changed so dramatically that you'll need something else. Okay, so that's your specific as well as the general one that came out last week for you, Hannah. Okay, so going to Tina's question about possibility of having a half brother and where are they? Okay, let's ask Matilda that one. She's want to get it in there. She just wants to get in there that we're all brothers and sisters. That blood is just one part of the orchestra in life. And there are many. There are many. So in your chase and you're looking for the one, there are many different relationships and brother and sister relationships that you can have in this world. So she just chose that opportunity to tell you that. Right, 2 things at play here she's suggesting. One is the need that you have, your need to find this person. The other is if they want to be found. So she's asking you to just sit with the heart. Go to that thing like we said last week, Tina. It's in more full there. I don't want to repeat it all here, but sit out with the earth. Go through the process that she talked about sinking in, asking from within if it's right for you to find this person. She says, first of all, before we do, just because we can do something doesn't mean to say it's right. So first of all, you need to kind of ask permission. You need to ask permission. Is it really right for my soul, for my being as Tina, to find this person? Where's that yearning coming from? Where's that need coming from? So she's suggesting you identify those needs, and that, because there's great healing, you know, when you identify what the need is. So she says, identify the need first, get really clear on what it is you want to manifest there. All of that in last week's video. And then ask from that position, or ask us again then. You need to do that first, Tina, before she'll give you anything else specifically. But she said your heart will be the compass. Your heart will be the compass on finding that person. And we can certainly put out an invitation to the alignment of that meetup. But before we do any of that, you really need to sit with it and do what she's asking of you first, please. So when you've done that, Tina, let me know, and then I'll see if I can download the next bit for you. Okay. Okay, so that's that one for you, Tina. Okay, so going to Carol now. Carol W. Now, you were asking similar to Belle's question last week with regard to letting go and things. And again, that was answered last week. But specifically about possibilities of things going on in the body. Now, this is actually quite, this is answering. So she's answering here some of somebody else's question about their relatives. She's answering, she's Chris G's question. She's answering Cass' question. Yeah, Jill's as well. All sorts of different people on a generic level first, okay? So when we perceive there's a possibility that something is out of balance in the body, you are right, okay? So that's the first thing. And so you take it seriously. So she's saying you don't take it seriously, like, I'm going to be dead next week. Remember, this is Matilda talking. So she's like, not like that, but as in, this is an answer from the universe. This is information. I am getting a conversation from my body. I'm getting a conversation from the universe, and it's confirming that niggle, 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 or the pain, or the discomfort, the weary feeling, the this and that and the other, is a message. It's a conversation of the body. It's a conversation from the universe. So that's what she wants you to take seriously. And this is a pure example, she's saying. It's a pure example for Clara as well. It's a pure example of what she mentioned last week about, what was it? About, us being out of range of the timer. And not answering the call when the timer says, come on, knees coming out the oven. So those niggles, that conversation is all about the timer going off. To say the time is now to address this conversation. What is the conversation about? Now, Sometimes we know that the physical body has various pains and things going on it because it's trying to get your attention. It is trying to give you a communication. Pain is the strongest communication. We will ignore the niggles. We will ignore this, that and the other. And that's what she's saying. You've ignored so many timers going off. Pay attention to the first one that comes up and do something about it. So if you've got a niggle that you think your thyroid's out of balance, your endocrine system needs attention, your energy needs an upsurge, you know, so many different things, then sit with your body and ask it. Ask your body, what is the truth of this situation? What is the truth of this pain? What is the truth of this discomfort? What is the rest of the sentence that you're trying to say to me? Now, you're going to get frustrated. So Matilda's saying you're going to get frustrated because it's not in an answer like that, and it's not actually written out in front of you, and it's not really clear. The more you go along with the answers saying, oh, it's not clear enough for me, I don't know what it is, can't do this, the more you're blocking it. So you've just agreed with your body that you don't want to know. That what you've asked is lip service. It's actually not what you don't mean it. You're not being truthful and honourable to yourself. If you're being, remember this is Matilda, if you're being truthful and honest with yourself, first of all, you have to have the courage to ask the question. And then you have to have major courage to listen and get the answer and then do something with it. So again, do some lovely kindness and generosity to yourselves. Ask the question and pin back your ears. She's saying, pin back your ears because we're trying to tell you all the time what's going on. So for Carol Wilson, she's bringing in a plant that looks like a thistle to me. So she's saying, do some research on plants that look like thistles. This isn't, I don't know whether it's a thistle or not, but it certainly looks like it's got a thistle leaf shape to it. She says start taking some of that. You also need the bark, slippery elm bark. You could do with some of that, and berberis is coming up. With all the things that Matilda was a medical herbalist, or would have been if there'd have been any examinations in those days, but certainly a herbalist. So I can't give you advice like that. You need to go and find yourself a good medical herbalist, a naturopath, somebody who's actually trained in all of this stuff. But I'm just here as a messenger and I'm passing on what she's coming up with. So Carol, yeah, she's saying there's some imbalances going on, but one kicks the other. So when you've got one that's sorted, you give it a bit of time and the other one actually sorts itself out. But what you need more than actually anything that's poking the lion is soothing things. You need some soothing things into your glandular system, so things to soothe. So she said let what's just happened settle for about 3 weeks whilst you do your research on whatever it is that she's talking about, and then you can start to think with some proper medical advice if you want to go that route with that. So specific answers there as well for Kath. All right, so you're asking about the procedure. Is it still needed? If it's offered? And the migraine. The migraine is proof that your endocrine system has changed, is in flux, and it will have been a spike. So when you had that, the hormones were spiking. Like a lot of the hormones now have gone to sleep. A lot of them are going into sort of like marshy territory. They're finding their space. They're finding their cave. They're finding their place to go, and they're settling in different ways. So you've got some more settling time going on, big changes. But your migraines are peaks. It's almost like the hormones know, they're getting all the receptors and the messages that, oh, we've changed now. We don't need to be the way we've been for the last, 40, 50 years, whatever it happens to be. We can be changeable now. We have a different role to play, and we need a bit of soothing time again. Endocrine systems need soothing, apparently, to make those final 8, 9 and 10 steps out of 10. So you've done the first 7, 8, 9 and 10 to go, she says. And you need some patience with that, but you also need to make sure you're getting your basic nutrients, your basic loving bits, your basic foods. Well, she's saying not basic foods, the right foods. Oh, she's getting finger wagging, Kath. Get your right foods in. Don't bloody make any excuses on not having that. And make sure you've got your trace elements in and all the things that you know, put into place and do them now. It'll save you a lot in the long run. Come back to me, she says, if and when you're offered that procedure. We'll see if you've got past 8.5. Once you pass 8.7, then everything's different. But it depends when this is offered during that time, how long this phase is lasting. Meanwhile, you can do a lot for yourself by putting all those other things into place. And she's talking about bananas and about pecan nuts, about sauerkraut, about what is that? What are you showing me there? Like I don't know, it looks like Greek yogurt. Yeah, looks like that. Looks like Greek yogurt. So she's asking you to look at some of those in your diet. Carol Wilson, she wants you to look at sauerkraut as well. You need probiotics. You've abstained from various things for some time and you absolutely need more probiotics in your system now, Carol, as well. Sauerkraut does that. Better than most things, apparently, is what she's saying. But do your own research and obviously ask somebody who knows what they're talking about on this stuff. Great. Not that she doesn't, she does, but I think you get my gist. Okay, so okay, one other thing. So this is coming from anonymous person who is asking about a relative and what's going on with that relative. Okay, so let's see what Matilda says about that. First of all, this relative is very private and it's not always right for you to know everything. So if this person, this relative is she's not trying to keep things secret or anything, but she does need a little bit of time to process news, to process things that are happening, to process shock before she can fully share it. She doesn't want to hide it. It's just that she's going to take some time. So Matilda's trying to protect you there and trying to give you the heads up, forewarn you that, you know, you just need to give her some space. Give her some space and back off and be there and supportive, but just wait until she offers things. When she's offering things, it's because she's managed to process it a bit, and so that's the time where you can really step in and really help. She's on a pivotal time in her life. She's at a crossroads. She's not sure where to plant her seeds of new growth, of what to attend to in life. She's been doing the do, and she's got to a stage here where this has come along to go, wake up, stop, just stop. So this has come along to make her stop all of the routines and the doing and just stop to take reevaluate her life. That's why it's here, to reevaluate her life. There's values that need to be placed in other areas than those that she's been placing it in. And now's a really good time to include herself in there and to make some changes. Okay, darling. So I know that some of the answers to those questions will definitely have been advantageous to many of you, not just the people I've named who proposed the question. So thank you for all of your questions. I'll be back next week with the rest of them. All right, darlings. Mwah. Do let me know in those comments field below which ones resonated for you. Lots of love. Bye for now.